New Year is around the corner and everyone is putting countdown timers in their website. So in this video, we're going to create a countdown timer using plain JavaScript. So as I said, plain JavaScript, in HTML, we are just going to add one container that will hold the timer. ID equals to timer and nothing else. And in the JavaScript file, we're going to write the code. So what is the countdown timer basically? In the countdown timer, we update the timer in every second. So we're going to use a set interval. Set interval accepts one function and 1000 milliseconds, that means 1 second. So every second our function is going to be called and we are going to update our timer. So I'm going to create a variable new year and that is going to hold a date object. In date object we can pass the year 2023, the month that is 0 January, and the date that is the 1st January. Now you can notice January is 0 but date is 1 because it is JavaScript. It is weird. Another variable I need, that is the current time. So let's call it current time equals to new date. If you are not passing any parameters in the date object, that is going to give you the current date. What else do you need for a countdown timer? We need the difference between the new year and the current time, right? For a countdown timer, we need a difference between two times, right? So in this case, we can create a variable called diff and we can subtract the times. So definitely new year is the bigger one. So new year dot get time. Get time function is going to give you the time in millisecond. So new year dot get time minus current time dot get time. So in this diff variable, we're going to get the difference in milliseconds, right? Let's call it diff ms because it is a difference between current time and new year time in millisecond. Now in HTML file, we have created a container with ID timer. So if I add that millisecond difference in that container, let's see what happens. So document dot get element by ID timer dot inner HTML equals to, I'm setting the diff ms, right? And we're getting our countdown timer in millisecond, but no one will be able to understand it, right? So we need to convert the millisecond into days, minutes, hours. Okay, so I'm going to create one variable called diff in days, right? And I'm going to convert this diff in millisecond into days. So divide it with 1000, that's going to give you the seconds, then multiply it with 60, it's going to give you the minutes, then hours, and finally multiply with 24, it's going to give you the days. Now if I show the diff in days, what we're getting here, we're getting 2 days, but still it is garbage. No one will be able to understand it. I'm going to take the fraction. Okay, 2 is fine, 2 days are fine. We're going to show 2 days and then I'm going to take this fraction and convert that into hours and then minutes, like that. So we already have our diff days. Then next I'm going to calculate diff in hours. So first I'm going to take the fractional part of the day. So from diff days minus math.floor diff days. So math.floor is going to give you the integer value. Now if I subtract it with the actual diff days, we're going to get the fractional part, but the fraction will be in days. So if I multiply it with 24, we're going to get the hours. So then we can show diff days plus diff hours. We only want the integer part of diff days. So math.floor diff days, add some string like days, then diff hours, 2 days, 1 hour, and some garbage. No one will be able to understand it. So I'm going to convert this fractional part into minutes. So similar to this hour calculation, I'm going to calculate the minutes. So this is the fractional part and then if you multiply it with 60, you're going to get the diff in minutes. Same as seconds, diff in seconds. So we have our days, hours, minutes and seconds, and we can just show it. So our countdown timer is done. 2 days, 1 hour, 4 minutes and 17 seconds. What is the time now? Today is 29th December, 10:56 p.m. Wonderful. But there is one step left. So when this time becomes 0, we want to show Happy New Year. We have our diff in millisecond. Whenever it becomes 0, so if I check diff, if it is less or equals to 0, just show Happy New Year. Now the thing is, you're going to test it, right? How can you test it? I'm going to use some fake timer. So let's have one fake timer, fake new year, and that is going to be new date. So this is today's date dot get time plus, let's say, 5 seconds. So this fake new year is just 5 seconds after current time. So instead of using this new year, correct new year, I'm going to use fake new year. Now let's see. We have just 2 seconds left, 1 second left, and it's not working. So this is the mistake here. I have to return, because if I don't return, our timer object is going to be overwritten by this code. So now if I refresh the page, we have 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, 1, and then Happy New Year. So guys, Happy New Year, and I'm sure you have learned something in this video. If you liked it, please hit like, and if you want to see more JavaScript tutorials like this, you can consider subscribing. And thanks for watching. We'll meet in the next year.